the community is, running into decay because now we have more lies than truth, right? And now people are more keen to defend lies than the truth. Even though the truth is glaring, looking at you in the face, but they rather, So I just feel it's the ability to know where to draw the lines. Yeah, welcome y'all. This is KCTV. Today we'll be talking about sexual education amongst the youth. We are at the Bellevue Library, Park B Gallery Art Studio, and I've got Kate Case in the studio with me. Let's get the conversation started.
Maybe for pregnant early, we should be able to understand your.
If you take it away, yes. Then it means you're trying to teach them not to take responsibility for their actions.
No, I'm not saying to take it away. It is like you guys mentioned, is to have these conversations with them so they can also understand why would they want to at the early stage get these type of thoughts.
There is no way
this pressure so that they can understand what peer pressure
is.
Peer pressure, yes.
You understand? So that when they observe peer pressure, then they have the opportunity to have a choice. Am I going to follow it or not? Because currently they don't have a choice.
They do have a choice.
It wasn't made aware to them that you have a choice.
No, they do have a choice because at the end of the day, you still see
their natural behavior.
You still see out of these parts, like out of these groups of people that grew up in the hood, you will still see a few of them make it out of the hood.
Yes.
Why? What did those people do differently?
That is what I wanted to mention earlier. Mostly it's 50-50, and it's not a lot. It's I would say less than 10% that is lucky to because 10% they are born with that awareness. Like I wouldn't say the people are zombies, but some people are in this life on autopilot from birth. If you understand what I'm saying.
You can't say you autopiloted, you know what? We are programmed by government like this to just go one way.
That's what I'm saying. You are autopilot, the program that was given to you. You are not aware that you can program yourself. That's what I'm trying to get at. Now, 1% is born with that awareness. I have the ability, although they don't think of it in this context, but they have a level of understanding. But I control my thoughts, I control my body, whereas many of us, like for example the financial system, who says money has any value? Where does the value of money come from?
And who says that?
We accept it because we were born into the system, now we continue. We think this is all there is.
And who says how much money must they have a certain amount of money?
You understand?
Yeah.
So yes, therefore platforms like this is very important to bring that awareness.
That means, then back to what you said about the autopilot thing. I feel there will be no proper sensitization if the sensitization will not be complete if we do not teach these young people about taking responsibility.
Yeah.
Because I realize that is another challenge that is happening, like with this, people of this age. They don't understand responsibility for every action.
There's a consequence.
There's a consequence, right? So now, and I feel if young ones at that age understand responsibility, and responsibility doesn't mean that you need to grow up in a very great family tree. All you need to do is have the information and the knowledge that I am responsible if, for instance, if I go out there and I get into a fight and I, maim somebody, now I have to take responsibility. I have to probably put in jail or whatever, right? Because even now you go out, you see young people of 13, they are the ones doing the crime.
Yeah.
They are the ones mobbing people on the street, right? So we need to, I think responsibility is a very essential factor that needs to be injected too, apart from consciousness and all these other things that we've mentioned. We need to teach these young ones how to take responsibility for their actions.
That's what it boils down to.
Is there any other thing you wanna talk about?
No, essentially that is what it comes down to. And just, again, this is my personal experience, and I'm not sure what anyone else's is. I think the reason why we are not so responsible growing up from teenage up into our adulthood is because also a factor that relates to our spirituality and more specifically religion. Because in many religions we are taught that our savior is gonna be something external. It's gonna come from the out. Someone from outside is going to come save us. So therefore we have this sense that we are not responsible for ourselves, for our own safety. Someone else is going to keep me safe. And that's where the mindset comes in. That is ingrained in our mindset that our salvation is coming from outside, whereas we are not taught like we need to have responsibility for ourselves. If we don't save ourselves, no one else is going to come save us. And I think it ties into that.
But maybe in the subsequent episodes, too, we're probably going to touch on slightly about the roles and the function of religion. And because I realize that a lot of times, like in some communities that are, very functional, I think they have the churches and this, other religious sects, they play a crucial role in shaping the character and the mindset of these young ones from that age, because they actually born in the church, baptized in the church. Now all the indoctrination, don't fornicate, don't do all of these things, do it at a certain age, at least like some sort of guidance.
But something that also frustrates me is that sex are made like it's the dirty thing. Don't talk about it. Keep it under the
radar.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But these are topics that we'll talk about too as it unfolds.
That's where the religion again comes in, because we were prescribed how stuff like that must occur. And
Achter die deur, around the door.
And when we engage in our natural human behavior, we are shamed.
Ashamed.
We are designed like this, but then we are shamed and made to feel bad about.
But why do you think that is, though?
One example I would always like to make is to say that I don't believe I sin. Yes, I have bad behaviors and all of that, but I don't necessarily believe I sin. When we look at they say that lying is a sin. Now, for example, a robber breaks into your house at night. It's only you and your children there. They come with guns and whatever. You tell your children to hide under the bed. They get you. Now they ask you, is there anyone else in the house? Are you going to tell the truth or are you going to lie? And when you lie in that instant, is it considered a sin? Is it something bad? So therefore I believe lying is a function of being a human. It's part of all the mechanisms that help you to survive. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's when, by what intention do you use it? Are you lying now to gain something for yourself and to hurt unto others? Or are you lying to save yourself?
Okay, do you know that the Bible really is not, at the end of the day, the Bible would, give you this information. Like you could read the Bible and say, oh, thou shalt not lie. Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's that intense. Like it's not cast in stone that you cannot lie, based on the context. Right? I just feel the rules are there to guide you, right? But at the end of the day, it's not cut and dry. There are gray areas, and life is not white and black. There, is white, black, and the gray areas. So as a human being, is the ability to use your wisdom, and that is why they say wisdom is a principal thing. You use your wisdom to discern and say, okay, in this context, do I lie or do I tell the truth? But at the end of the day, you still realize that at that, the community is, running into decay because now we have more lies than truth, right? And now people are more keen to defend lies than the truth. Even though the truth is glaring, looking at you in the face, but they rather, So I just feel it's the ability to know where to draw the lines. The Bible, the religious sect are there to say, okay, this is where we draw the line.
But you know what? I don't totally believe in the Bible. I believe that there is a higher being, but we don't know who wrote that Bible.
No, but at the end of the day,
You understand?
I don't even think what I believe is, right? For whatever information that you consume as an individual, the first thing you should do is to see how it resonates with your soul, right? The Bible is just like every other book that you would read, right? You agree with some and disagree with some. Nobody, I don't think anybody alive can practice all the things in the Bible, right? So you have a responsibility again to discern, to say, okay, I've read this and this is what I feel it does to me. This is how I feel about it. But the mistake a lot of people make is that they go to churches hoping that somebody will tell them what is in the Bible, other than reading the Bible themselves and deciding, okay, this is what resonates with me, and then